do earlier this morning. We are here at the Ace Hardware show. We're here at the Aero Tool Group booth, and you saw me put on the wrong fabric on the wrong part of the chair. Oh, so embarrassing, but hey, this is DIY. This is what happens. So now for this next demonstration, I'm going to show you the back part of the chair. We may not be able to get it all done today. We only have until 4 p.m. Central Time, but I'm going to try to finish as much as I can so that you can see this chair live. Now remember, if you haven't seen my home office makeover, go check that out. It has been published. That you're going to be able to see the entire chair makeover. It's a $75 thrifted chair that I bought. I reupholstered it from start to finish in the video, but I'm here at the trade show. And so you're going to be able to see some of that live here today, and I'm going to walk you through. If you didn't catch the live from this morning, I'm going to show you some of the same stuff because we're using amazing fabric, amazing tools, and you're not going to want to miss this demonstration. All right, let me flip it around so that we can show you what we're working on. Now, remember, if you have not seen my channel or you have not seen my video, hey guys, I'm Serena from Thrift Diving. I typically go to thrift stores. I use recycled, upcycled fabric. Well, not necessarily fabric, but I use fabric on my chair and my makeovers because I like to keep things as inexpensive as possible. So I did a home office makeover with my friend, and we found 2 matching chairs that we reupholstered. Well, I say we, that I reupholstered. One of them is in the video, but the other one I brought here to the hardware show. And so this morning, if you weren't watching, we were able to do this chair. This is the seat part of this chair. I'm using a really beautiful fabric. It's called Krypton Velvet, and it's a berry pink. It's amazing. So before we actually jump into this, I want to show you, hi. I want to show you how amazing this fabric is, because how many times are you sitting in your office chair, you're drinking coffee, you spill some, and now the amazing chair, the amazing fabric that you just reupholstered is ruined? Well, no, that actually doesn't have to happen. So let me do a demonstration of the fabric first, because I need you to see how amazing this fabric is. All right, so let's put the chair away. I'm going to pull out a piece of fabric here, and I'm going to show you what happens when I spill this fabric, this coffee, black coffee, on this fabric. So let me move the camera so you can actually get a better close-up of this. You're not going to believe this. Like, it's amazing. All right, here we go. I'm going to point my camera down here so you can see, right? So imagine that you've just spent all this time reupholstering a beautiful chair with expensive fabric, or maybe not expensive fabric, but here we go. I don't want this to fall over. So I've got coffee here. I've got real coffee. Actually, you know what? I'm going to be a little bold. Let's take the seat that we just reupholstered. This is coffee, guys. This is real coffee. Watch what happens to this fabric. Look at this. Look at this. You just spilled fabric or coffee on your fabric. You're at your desk working. You're on your sofa working. And now you've got coffee. You'll notice here that it's just beating up. Like, it's literally not even soaking through. So what this is Krypton fabric. Now, I thought that Krypton was a brand of fabric. It's actually not. It's a treatment that they apply to the fabric. So now I would probably use a wet towel, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you how you're not going to even ruin this chair, even if you're using napkins or paper towels. So it's not going through the fabric. All I'm going to do is just sop it up here, right? And you can blot it just to get the excess. I'm making a mess here in the booth. And it's literally going away, right? Now, this is probably going to leave a little bit of paper, you know, like paper towel here. But look at this. The fabric is completely salvaged. There's no, like, it didn't even penetrate the fabric. It didn't go through. It's not ruining the, you know, the foam that's underneath. So I want you to consider when you're doing reupholster projects, make sure that you are using good quality fabrics, especially if it's something that you want to maintain. So this fabric is from housefabric.com, and they were nice enough to sponsor this. So now that you know how amazing this fabric is, let's put it on this other part. We did this part this morning, so if you were with me, hey, welcome back. But we're going to finish the other part, or try to finish as much as we can within the time we have. Oh my God, I love this. You have no idea how amazing this fabric is. All right. You have to bear with me. I do not have anybody here working the camera. I'm not that swanky yet. Maybe one day I'll have somebody follow me around like Gary Vee does. But for now, guys, it's just me. It's just me, just Serena. All right, so the back part of this chair is actually two pieces of fabric, or sorry, two pieces of wood with some foam on top of them. Here's some tips. I am making a total mess back here. Sorry, guys, hold on. You have to look at my butt here for a moment. All right. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm back. Okay. Now I do need some of my coffee. So when you're buying a chair from the thrift store, I just want to talk through some really important upholstery things because these things matter. In addition to knowing how to reupholster it, you have to kind of consider what is underneath the chair, right? So this chair, the foam part is in good condition. So it still smells a little bit. I will tell you that I did put baking soda, I used vinegar, I set it outside. And sometimes when you get chairs like this from the thrift store, you don't know where they've been. They could have been in someone's grandma's basement and it can smell. So if you want to replace the foam, you can, but I'll tell you that it can be very expensive. I considered switching out this foam, just getting all new foam, but the amount of money that was going to cost, I didn't want to put that money into it. So sunlight, vinegar, there's a product called odor. That stuff is amazing. Even if you're working with like old dressers, you've got stinky drawers in the piece of furniture you got from the thrift store. If you spray odor in there, let it sit, it's gonna remove the odor. And so this has a little bit of odor on it. I didn't want to completely saturate it, but by the time we get the new fabric on it, it's gonna be fine. But make sure that you're at least wiping this down. And so I did do that before I shipped it here to the show. All right, so this chair is actually gonna have multiple pieces. We have this back piece, two side pieces, and then one full piece on the back. Again, I don't think we'll have time to get through this today, but I am going to walk you through. If you didn't see my video from this morning, I am going to reiterate some of those really important tips for making sure that you're doing this right. So let's bring the piece of fabric over that we're going to be using. Actually, let's see. I think it's underneath here.
Hey, Serena,
yeah.
Maisie 1917 says hello.
Hey, Maisie. What's up, girl? Hi. Welcome to my channel. Okay, now before we put this fabric on here, I want to point out something to you. When you are reupholstering a chair, a sofa, any kind of cushions, maybe you've got a dining room chair, and you pull that old fabric out, or you pull that old fabric off, I want you to keep the fabric because you're going to use that as your template, as your pattern for the new piece that you're cutting. You want to add a little bit of extra to it, right? You want to maybe add about, I like to say maybe an inch, inch and a half, because you're going to want to be able to pull that fabric and you have to be able to grab it. So if you have a little bit of extra fabric, grab that fabric, pull it tight, because you've added in some of that extra yardage there. The other thing you're going to want to do is after you cut out your piece, so this is the piece that's going on the back, you're going to want to fold this fabric in half and then find the center. Now, when I took upholstery classes, probably about 5 years ago, one of the things, actually no, it was longer than 5. I tell you, I think the pandemic has really warped our sense of time. I think it was probably 6 years ago that I did an upholstery class. Actually, I did 2 sessions. I did about 12 classes, 2 sessions. One of the important things you have to remember is you always want to find your center. So whether it's the center of your fabric, the center of your chair, that is where you're going to be starting from. Because once you have the center, you can start pulling towards the corner. So with this piece, and I did it this morning, but I'm going to show you essentially what you do. You're going to fold your fabric in half, and then you're going to take your scissors and you're going to make 2 notches. You're going to want to do one at the bottom and one at the top. And when you open it up, you're going to have a nice little V right here at the top. So now that I have my V, I'm going to set this aside. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but I'm going to turn this around so you can see that on the back of this chair, and I've already marked it, but we do. We have one of our arrow tape measures. So what you're going to want to do, and if you can, you're going to have to bend it a little bit, but you're going to take it across the length of your project. Here I've got, well, I've already marked it, but I've got about 19 and a half. So, we can round up a little bit. I don't want to round up, but I've already marked it. We're here in the center. You're going to want to do that for the bottom as well. So we don't have, actually, no, this chair, the fabric comes to the bottom and then it comes underneath. So we're actually going to be marking this in the middle, and it's probably already here because the person who upholstered this before, they already did the markings as well. So sometimes you will find that, but we do have a mark here at the bottom. So I'm going to be using my Arrow 5-in-1. I've been talking about this all morning. I love, love, love this tool. And I've been telling everybody that if you are, whether you are just starting your first project, whether you have been doing some upholstery projects for a while, this is the tool to have in your DIY toolbox. It's the Arrow 5-in-1. And what I like about it is that it shoots 3 different kinds of arrows, arrow staplers. You've got the ones that we're using. So I'm going to show you the ones that we're using. Let me come around here. We're going to be using the Arrow JT21. Now you'll notice that this is the fine wire. Arrow makes a ton of staples, but what's different about these staples is that you want the fine wire, right? You don't want something that's really thick because you want to go through, a lot of times when you're reupholstering chairs like this, the fabric or the wood is very hard. You have to be able to get through not just the wood, but multiple layers of fabric. So this is 3/8 of an inch. That's generally what you're going to use when you are reupholstering. So make sure that you have fine wire and that it's 3/8 of an inch, okay? And with the Arrow 5-in-1, we can shoot these thin staples. Let's say we have a more heavy duty project. Like in my video, the home office makeover, we made this huge 4-foot by 5-foot DIY canvas. And in that one, I actually used the T50, but this actually shoots T50, which is a little thicker staple. But we can also do, like the holidays are coming up. And so if you're putting up your Christmas lights or your holiday lights, you want to make sure that you're stapling them with a stapler. I think it's the, what is it? It's the T25 staples. It's the ones that's rounded, right? Because you don't want to like staple it and cut off your wire. So we're going to be able to shoot that from here with this tool. And also you can do brad nails and you can do pin nails. So you can do 5 types of like staples and nails with this thing. That's why I say I recommend this. I like the corded one. It does come, well, I thought I had it. I do have it here. It does come in a cordless, but I like the power that comes with the corded. And I've done many of projects with a compressor. You don't have to use a compressor. It has its place, but you don't need it for this. All right, so this is my fabric. This is going to be the fabric that goes in the back, right? So this is what I'm going to do first. I'm going to turn this around so you can see what it looks like from the front, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to staple this in the back. So this is the piece that I'm working from, and I'm going to drape this over the fabric or over the chair, and I'm going to line up the center of the fabric with the center of the chair, right? Remember, we have our marks here on the back. Now, remember I told you to add extra fabric, add an extra inch? The reason why is because when you are starting to pull your fabric, you really want to get a grasp. The last thing you want is to get to a point where you're like, I'm trying to pull my fabric and there's not enough fabric. You can always trim fabric, but you can't add more. So believe me, trust me, how do I know? Because I've made that mistake. All right, so I'm going to line up my fabric here. And you don't have to put it in place just yet, but you want to line up your fabric and just make sure that you've left enough fabric so that you have some to pull under. We do. All right. And I'm just going to work this around just a little bit to kind of test and see where we are. Okay, that looks good. Now, here's the thing too. If you are working with fabrics, this fabric has no print. You can still kind of see the lines of the fabric, right? You can see the threads of the fabric. So that's something to pay attention to. If you're using something that has a pattern, that's another reason why it helps to line up the back of the fabric or the center of the fabric with the center of the chair. Because you know, if you don't line it up properly, your pattern's going to be like this. It's going to look like a DIY. I mean, it's okay if it looks like DIY, but some things are just, yeah, not good. All right, so I'm going to line this up about right here, and I'm going to put one single staple. Oh, and another thing too, if you make a mistake, don't worry about making mistakes, because you can always, believe me, if you were watching this morning, you would see the big mistake I made this morning. I'm not going to tell you that. All right, so we're going to put one staple here, and you can actually put two staples if you want. That's fine. That's it. We're not going to put any other staples just yet. We're going to flip our chair around, and hopefully you can see this. I may have to adjust the camera. Let's put this out of the way. All right. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to find the center of our fabric, and we're going to line it up with the center of this chair. Now, the mark is here. I'm just going to extend this mark just a little bit so I can really see it. And I'm going to be extending it to the back just a little bit, because this fabric is going to be kind of long. And actually, you know what? We're not going to be extending actually all the way here. We're going to stop right here at the bottom. But I want to make sure that it's in the center. You're going to give it a good tug. And you know, because I have extra fabric, I think what I'm going to do, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to remove that staple from the back, because I think I may need that extra fabric. And I'm going to match that up, and I'm going to put a couple of staples here. All right. So I put the staples here. I'm going to go back here and remove these and actually pull this fabric a little bit tighter. Again, you know, oh, and I'm using my staple lifter. When you're doing upholstery projects, you always want to have a staple lifter, because you are going to make a mistake. Have a pair of pliers, pull those staples out, and also you're definitely going to want some needle nose pliers, because if you've ever reupholstered, you'll know that sometimes these staples like to break off in the middle, and that's not good, because then how do you get them out, right? But if you have some needle nose pliers, you can easily pull them out, set them aside, have a vacuum nearby, keep them in a pile. You do not want to be stepping on staples. All right, so we stapled it from the bottom, and I'm going to pull tight. And while I'm pulling tight in the back, just to show you here, I'm going to make sure that this is even. Okay, so you see how I'm going to make sure it's lined up in the back, but I want to pull it tight so that from here to here, I have a nice, oh, actually I can draw on it. From here to here, I have a nice tight staple. Because then what we're going to do is we're going to pull towards the corners. Okay, that's going to give us we have a lot of fabric here to pull. All right, so let's turn this around, pull tight, make sure that this is in the middle. Now, even though this is longer than where we marked, we can extend this line just a little bit. We can go as far as we need to, right? That's our line. So we're going to pull this tight, check it. It looks good. And then we're going to staple. Sometimes you have to use your body to kind of hold it in place. I'm going to use my arm here and put this staple. All right, put two for good measure. All right. So we have one at the bottom, one here, two at the top. And now we're going to start working our way out towards the corners. Now, I will tell you that this fabric here, you know, this is a little concave. And so the more we pull, the fabric could start moving away from the, you know, the chair. So we don't want to pull too much, but we just want to pull enough so that we have a really good, smooth fabric. All right, let me stop and see if there's any questions. Let's see. Maisie said hi. Nobody has any questions? Come on, guys, talk to me. I'm standing up here all this time. I want to have a conversation. That's why I wish I could turn this around and it was on a big screen so I could actually talk to you. I'll just talk to myself. I actually do that, you know. People think it's crazy, but I'm like, I like to talk to myself. Okay, so now that we have our staple here in the back, what we're going to do is we're going to pull tight towards the corners. But we're not gonna pull here and staple here. We're gonna start here and we're gonna work our way out, not all the way, and then start here and we're gonna work our way out. And just keeping in mind that we want this to be nice and smooth, so we can use our arm, we can kind of pull this, smooth it out. Just make sure we have a really good line here, profile. Pull, smooth, and then working our way towards the corners. Sometimes I'll go ahead and... This fabric is Krypton. It's Henry Arroyo from Henry Arroyo fabric from housefabric.com. And I did the demonstration, so hopefully people have seen that. But
by the way, Natural Gal says hello.
Hey, I'm glad that you're here. All right, man, this is looking good. You know what? I would love to do. I don't know how expensive it would be. I would love to do an entire sofa with this fabric.
Bring it in a trailer.
I do have a sofa. I have like this Allen sofa that I got from an estate sale for $100 years ago. This is when I had my minivan, and I could. So check this out. You know, with estate sales, you have to get to the estate sale at a reasonable. Like if you want the good stuff, because you were saying you go to estate sales, you got to get there early enough so that you can grab something good. But I went during my lunch break. This was years ago. I went during my lunch break. I'd taken the seats out of my car because I knew I was going back to get it, and put the. I mean, this was like a huge. I mean, it was like a 9-foot sofa in the back of my minivan, and then I went back to work after my lunch break.
We could take a rest on it. By the way, I got some money making Mike.
Oh, Mike in New Jersey. Hey, Mike. Yes, Carlene. Carlene is from New Jersey as well. Yes.
Anyway, he says, yo, Serena.
I love Mike. Mike, how long have you been following my channel?
I want to know where he's from in New Jersey.
Okay, Mike, where are you from in New Jersey? We have to know. Carlene wants to know.
And then Hollis to Hollywood.
Oh.
Hey, Serena.
Wait, is that Derek? I think that's Derek. Some of these names I know because they've been with me for years. And they faithfully show up every video and just make my day.
Hollis to Hollywood. Hollis to Hollywood. Says, hey, Serena.
And Mike, we want to know, if you're still there, we want to know where you're from, Mike.
Money making Mike just said, hardly ever catch you live. Stay awesome.
Because usually my reception is... Mike sent me money? Oh my gosh. Mike, did you... I love Mike. Mike likes to drive fast cars. I've seen Mike's Instagram. Mike is wild. Oh, you know what? I'm going to be up there, Mike. I'm going to be up there. Are we doing it the 15th? We're going to be doing some demonstrations on the 15th. All right, guys. So I am working on the other side of this chair now. You see this profile here is looking really, really good. I'm going to continue pulling tight, but I'm not going to do the corners just yet.
We got some more stuff going on.
Yes.
Oh, so Mike's been hanging around for 10 years.
10 years? Oh my gosh, Mike. Okay.
Hold on.
Mike is awesome.
Natural Gal says, I don't have any questions yet. However, I am taking detailed notes on this lesson. I did watch the video.
Oh, she watched it. Awesome.
Earlier today.
Yes. Yes. Mike, you are awesome. I'm going to have to meet Mike.
Oh, BJ Butler
BJ is here.
says hello, Serena.
What's up, BJ? BJ in the house. Let me tell you, BJ is, I'm going to give BJ some love. BJ is one of my best.
Belmar. Mike's from Belmar down in
Oh,
South
Belmar.
Jersey.
Okay.
That makes Mike an Eagles fan, I guess.
Mike, are you an Eagles fan?
Alice Hollywood says, I saw you at a comedy show.
Oh.
Your husband a few months ago. Tony
What?
Baker.
Oh, he was at Tony Baker?
Yes.
What? He didn't come and say hi?
Yes. Patricia Molina. I hope I said that correctly. Hello from High Desert, California.
Oh, Callie in the house. That is awesome. I'm loving you guys. But wait, I gotta call out BJ because BJ is a voice actor. He's worked for Toyota, he's worked for all these big companies and does voiceover work. So if you're ever looking for somebody to do voiceover work for like aero commercials, BJ is your guy. BJ's your guy. I'm just saying, BJ, yeah, I'm calling you out. He's good.
Alice, this is family here, so definitely stir. Can't be shy.
I know. If he saw me at Tony, he should have come up and say hi. Maybe because I was with my husband. Maybe he was like, you could have come up to say hi.
Oh my God. Money Making Mike is actually a Washington commander.
Yes, Commanders.
Oh
okay.
My God, fan since 1986.
Wow. Okay, Mike. All right. Okay, let me take a. Okay, so here's where we are right now. We're taking a break and getting back to business. So right now we have the top of the chair looking good. Remember, we stapled in the center. We're working our way out towards the corners, but we're not going to do the corners just yet. Really, you know, when you are doing upholstery, it's really about manipulating the fabric. It's not going to go well all the time, you know, unless you're like a professional, like you know how to. So my advice would be just take your time. Start in the middle, work your way out, do as good of a job as you can. Continuously pull the fabric, make sure it's tight, leave the corners, and cross your fingers. Because sometimes, you know, when I'm starting a new project and I've never done it before, I'm like, please let this work. It's okay, you don't have to be perfect. So now that we have the back somewhat done, we can start working down the bottom. Remember, we had one staple here at the bottom. I'm gonna, hopefully you can see this. I'll try to, let me check. Let me check and see if you can see this. Yeah, you can see this. Let me move this a little closer so you can see. Oh, you said you didn't want to disturb me, plus you're shy. Well, I'm glad that you told me now that you saw me. That is so cool. You should have come. First of all, did you like Tony Baker? Oh my gosh, that show was, he's funny. I really like, if you were in Baltimore, go to it's called is it the Baltimore Laugh Factory or something like that? It's a great place. I love it. They have a lot of really good comedians. Okay, so now that we have the back pretty much done, now we're gonna come down here. You see we've got some wrinkles here. That's fine, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull towards the corners and we're gonna start stapling. The thing is about this chair, it does have hardware, okay? Whenever you're doing upholstery projects, make sure that you have all your hardware in a baggie. I am notorious for losing all my hardware, but we have a piece of hardware here because it's got some, I'll show you here. It's got these little clamps, not clamps, these little L brackets that the seat is going to attach to. So when we do our fabric here, we have to staple around this hole, but we don't want to staple, I mean, we have to cut it out, right? Because we have to keep this open. And you see the way they have this sort of like in a V so that you can continue to, you know, put your screws in there. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start pulling. This is where I got to get flexible. I'm going to start pulling and stapling, right? Do 1 or 2 staples, pull and staple. Pull, do 1 or 2 staples. And I mean, this is going pretty quickly. The only reason this is going quickly, guys, is because I have done this exact chair for the home office makeover. So because I've done it once, I kind of know what I have to do. I'm not saying that it's going to be perfect, but I know what I have to do. When you're starting a new project, it's going to take time, right? Like, don't feel like you're going to be able to just speed through it like this. It's going to take time. It's going to take weekends. It's going to take evenings. Don't feel pressured to get it all done, you know, in 2 hours like I'm trying to do. So I'm going to pull tight, staple. Now I'm coming up here. I'm actually going to switch. Let me switch over to this side. This is going to be hard to do. I want you to still be able to see it. Pull.
They put you to work?
I am working, yes.
Man, everybody else is talking. You're like,
oh, I'm talking to them. I'm talking to them. Believe me, we're having a full conversation here. We are talking. We are talking. Man, this is actually looking really good, guys. I am loving this. So this fabric, as I had mentioned, is from House Fabric. I love Krypton Velvet. If you've been following my channel for any time, you'll know that, I guess it was maybe a couple of years ago or a few years ago, I did some dining room chairs in this beautiful purple velvet fabric. It was Krypton fabric. And for those of you who just joined, I was sharing with you the reason why I love Krypton is because I can literally pour coffee on it and it's not going to get ruined. So shall we try it right now? For those who haven't seen it, Carlene, can you imagine just pouring coffee on this beautiful chair? Guess what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Can you see?
Yes.
All right, this is coffee. This is a black coffee. It's probably going to roll right off. And that's the Krypton. So this fabric is actually treated with Krypton. Yeah, there, look at that. It just rolls right off.
Fun-sized creation said that you look amazing.
I look amazing. Thank you. It's the red lipstick. Thank you. No, I made a joke that I was going to wear red lipstick today. It does kind of actually match Arrow. But thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And by the way, Hollister Hollywood wants to know what color it is. The light makes it look pinkish purplish, which 100%. It does.
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
It's more of a fuchsia.
It is a fuchsia. Yeah, I call it berry pink. I would say it is berry pink. I mean, it does have like a purplish tint to it. But yeah, technically the fabric is called Henry Arroyo. Krypton Henry Arroyo fabric. So if you go to House Fabric and you type in Henry Arroyo, which I know you're like, how do you spell that? ORROYO. You'll find it there. There's a link in my blog post. So if you go to thriftiving.com, the blog post is there that has all the tools and materials. So you've noticed all this time I've been talking, the coffee is still just kind of sitting here. So I'm going to use some napkins and just blot it up. And typically I would clean this up with, you know, something that like a wet towel, but we don't have a wet towel here. So I'm just blotting.
Creation loves how it rolls off.
It just rolls off. It just rolls off. So it's, you know, if you have kids, if you have pets. So think about this for your projects. Like if you're doing, let's say you want to do your dining room chairs, you're not going to need that much, right? If you have 4 to 6 chairs, you're not going to need that many yards. I believe this fabric might be $49 a yard. That's expensive. But I think, you know, if you get the fabric that you really want and you know it's not going to get ruined and it's going to have really good results, then it's worth spending that money for really good fabric. All right, so I'm kind of getting fuzz all over the chair, but look at this. There's no coffee stains on this fabric. So if you are like doing upholstery projects, get out of here. Little gnats all over the place. If you are doing upholstery projects, you want to think about using good fabric. That is, you know, because this is a lot of time and a lot of work. So, you know, imagine putting this time and work into something and then, you know, your kids or your dogs just ruin it, jump up on it and ruin it. All right, let me see if I can position myself. Let's work this other side. We're going to leave this here and come back to this side, but I'm going to pull. And as I'm pulling, I'm just checking to make sure that this looks good. This looks good. All right. Put a couple staples. Man, this fabric is amazing. All right. Okay. I'm going to do maybe like another, I'll do like another one. This chair over on this side also has another, I don't know if you can see it, another hole. So we're going to have to staple around those. And before I do that, I'm actually going to remove the staples that were here because I don't want to staple over them and jam up my staples. So staple lifter, you definitely want to have. And I do like pliers and I like needle nose pliers. These things can get right up in there and just roll it out. So that looks good. Let's check this side. We have a couple of leftover staples, but let me tell you how I like to work on projects. You know, a lot of times when I'm working on projects, I like to watch stuff because, you know, I'm in my shed, I'm working on things by myself, I'm recording, and it can get lonely. So what I recommend is find a favorite show, like something that you just love to work on or love to watch while you're working on projects. So for me, I love the Golden Girls. And I also love, lately I've been just binging on Project Runway. I told you guys that earlier today. I don't know if you guys have been watching the new season. What do you think? But I've been going back as far as season 2, season 4. You know, I don't know where you can find all the seasons, but I love just working on this and watching something, maybe have coffee, and just really just enjoy yourself. Because I think working on projects, it's like therapy, right? So not only are you perfecting your craft, but you're also really enjoying the whole process of creating. And creating is like one of my life's purpose. So I'm just saying. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. Hopefully you can see this. All right, so remember I told you that there is some hardware.
Money making Mike thinks that's crazy. Serena, DM me dates you'll be in Jersey. How you guys will be.
Yes. I'm going to be in Saddlebrook. Is that close to where he lives?
No.
It's not?
It's like,
well, you know what? He drives fast enough that you can get up there, Mike.
Right.
I've seen videos of Mike going like 100 miles per hour. He likes to race cars.
It's down there in South Jersey, right over the bridge from Philly.
Oh, how far is that from Saddlebrook?
Far, hour and a half, 2 hours.
Oh, that's not bad. I'm worth it, Mike. I mean, come up for lunch. All right. So, goodness gracious. Oh, okay. All right. So what I'm going to do, hopefully you can see this, is with this hole here, I'm going to, it's kind of hard to do this because the chair is rocking back and forth. I'm going to pull tight. And if you're doing a chair that has hardware like this, that has holes that you're going to have to put the hardware, you want to staple around the hardware, and then we're going to cut a little hole so that that hardware can go in there. So let's see how close we can get. We're going to pull. All right, let's see. Let's pull and then staple. Oh, we did a good job. Okay, pull, staple. I'm going to do sort of like a box. Okay. Oh, this one actually jammed up on me. And sometimes you'll have that. Like if you hit, that's why I say it's important to take out the old staples, because sometimes you might hit an old staple, or you, for some reason, you just can't get a good staple there. All right. All right, let me show you. And is that the hole? Yeah. You know what? Let me move this staple back just a little bit. Because now that we have a good, clean staple over here, I'm going to use my scissors. Okay. I'm going to use my scissors to cut out a little hole here. Where are the little scissors? Actually, I think I still want to move that back a little bit. Needle nose, important. All right, there we go. Okay, that looks good. Yes, that looks good. Okay. So I'm going to use my scissors. I'm just going to poke a hole here in this fabric. This is where the hardware is going to go. We don't want to cover that up. And just cut it out. And then I'm also going to check it too, just to make sure, before I move on, to make sure that this hole is big enough so that my hardware will fit into it. I can't believe that I'm moving through this chair so quickly. You have no idea. Like when I did the other chair that's in the home office makeover, I can't even tell you how long it took me. Because any new project that you start, it's gonna take a long time. I mean, come on, the first time you did anything, how long did it take you? It took you much longer than the second time, right? Third time, you're like, I'm a pro, I know how to do this. So I feel like I'm speeding through this and it's actually turning out nicely. All right, so I'm gonna check my screw. We can use, let's see, I did have my screwdriver. That's okay, look. Hardware fits. All right, so we can take that out. We know that we're going to be able to get that back in there. Now let's move to the other side. Same thing. We're going to pull tightly, making sure that we put some staples. Wait, there is one left over here. Let's pull that out. Get up in there. And I will tell you guys, and I think I had told you this earlier, when you are reupholstering old furniture, try to reuse as much of this as you can. I noticed here that there is some, oh, there's more. Okay, so it's got some burlap here. I don't want to have to replace that. Like anything that I have to replace on this chair, it's going to be expensive, right? You don't want to go to the thrift store and get like an affordable chair only to find out, wow, I actually need to pay $300 for some new foam. You're like, why am I going to do that? All right, so I'm here at this part where I just need to make sure that I'm stapling around this hole. See if I can get up there. That one may be a little suspect. It's kind of hard. I'm trying to do it at an angle so that you can see, and it's hard to do that. So I'm going to put this around like this.
Yep.
And maybe you can see from this end. So this is actually looking pretty good, right? We don't have any wrinkles here. Now, the part that's going to be hard is getting around this edge. There we may have to snip a little bit. But again, we're going to be working up to the corners. So don't worry about the corners. We'll deal with that when we get to it. Let me do it this way. All right. Keep pulling. Oh, let me show you something else. So when you're reupholstering and you're removing staples, especially old staples from the old fabric, sometimes the staples break off, right? You're doing your best to use pliers, you're using the staple lifter, but sometimes they break off. That's why it's important to have a needle nose, because as you're feeling around here, I just felt that there are some that are sticking up there. You don't want your fingers to get pricked. You also don't want the little metal piece that's sticking out to like put a hole in your fabric. So if you feel something that's there, take your needle nose and see if you can get them out. And if you can't get them out, here we go. Here's one that I think I can get out. If you can't get them out, take your bigger pliers. Yeah, this one's not really coming out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the head of my pliers and just try to get them. We do have hammers, but I don't have one here on the table. But you just want to make sure you get them below the surface so that they're not going to prick your fingers or prick the fabric. All right, so we're putting some staples here around this hole. It's hard to do this in this way because I want you to be able to see. But I'm going to pull tight and I'm going to staple like right here. All right, that looks good. And we're going to do one on this side. Let's get this in here. Another staple. We'll get one here. And whoop, that one didn't take. It happens sometimes. You hit something that you shouldn't hit. And then we'll get one here. Take our scissors, poke that little hole so we can check the hardware. Let's put another one in here. All right. Poke that hole and then check to make sure that we can actually get into that hole. So does anybody have any summer plans that you still have coming up? Like my family and I, we're going to do something fun tomorrow. I feel like I've been working so hard on my projects that I have not had time to do anything. I mean, when I say anything fun, DIY is fun, right? But right now we are doing this fall overhaul and we're doing a huge giveaway here. So let me explain it to you while I'm cutting out this little hole here. So on Thrift Diving and with Arrow, we are doing a $1,000 giveaway and challenge. And how that's going to work is, and you should find the link. I don't know that there's not a link on this live, but if you go to thriftdiving.com and if you go to my home office makeover video, you will find the link there to join the $1,000 giveaway, right? It's going to be a $500 gift card for you to buy whatever you want. It might be American Express or Visa, but it's going to be a $500 gift card you can use for whatever you want. And then we're also doing a $500 Arrow Tool Group gift card. So that's $1,000 to one winner. And then there's going to be, hold on, I'm trying to get this in the hole. And then there's going to be 29 additional $100 Arrow Tool Group winners. So if you've been wanting any of these tools, sorry, hold on, I can't seem to get this in here. Why can I not get this in here? I may have stapled into the hole. Let's see. But yeah, there's going to be.
Muse says hi.
Hey, George. What's up?
Alice to Hollywood says I binge Martin.
He what?
I I binge Martin when I DIY.
Oh, you binge Martin. Oh, Martin is a good one. All right, so we got the hardware in there. That's good. So we're good there. We're good there. Martin is a good one. I love Martin. You know, I actually saw Martin live at the I guess it was back in, maybe it was about a year ago. I saw him live. I didn't really like him live. I don't know. I think there was something kind of wrong with him, but you know, his old stuff I absolutely love. All right, so we have 2 spots here for our hardware. We checked them, they look good. And now what we can do is start pulling towards the corners. So you see I have a little bit of wrinkles here in the middle. We haven't quite gotten up this high yet, but we're gonna save these corners for the last. So I'm gonna pull. Now here's the thing about this chair, and I don't know if you can see this. These are 3 pieces of wood. So you have this back piece, you have the 2 side pieces, and they're glued together with some sort of epoxy. The epoxy is very hard. So I don't know if you can see it. I don't even know if it's an epoxy, but it's something that's like super hard. So what we're gonna have to do is, we may not be able to staple through that because it's so tough, but we're gonna pull it and we're gonna see what we can do to get around that, you know, that glue or the epoxy or whatever it is. So we're gonna pull tight, making sure we don't have any parts here that are, let's see, because this stuff is like super hard. So we're gonna try to go around that. All right. And now we're just gonna start stapling this baby in place. And this is actually going really quickly. All right. I'm gonna move some of this out of the way. And this is where it's gonna be challenging. Let's see if I have something. All right, I'm gonna hold this up. Let me put my work bag up here. This chair likes to kind of, because it has a slight rounded edge to it, it likes to flip over. All right, so we're gonna get in here and we're gonna pull this tight. I'm like way under here, Carlene. I'm under my chair. You can see me. Hi, I'm still here.
Money making my already MapQuested settle.
So wait, how far does it say,
So
Mike?
it's about 2 hours.
Okay.
He's thinking he could shave off in about 15 minutes.
Oh my gosh. That would be so awesome to like hang out with him. Mike, you're on. I will carve out time in my Saddlebrook trip to see you. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm just pulling this fabric as tight as I can, trying to get around this glue that's here. This side is looking really, really good. I'm going to continue to pull, checking the fabric. It's looking good. And I'm going to keep pulling. Woo, this is going great, guys. All right, this one, I think we're trying to staple into this glue. So we're going to staple around the glue. We can't quite get through that glue, so we might have a little bit of wrinkles here, but that's okay. Again, remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to get done. All right, so this is looking good. I got a staple that's up. If you have a staple that goes in just a little way, you can use your pliers and just tack it in there. All right, so we're working our way up. Keep pulling. All right. And now I'm going to switch sides. Whoa, look at that. It looks so good. So excited. Look at that. This is looking good, guys. Look at this. Okay, now this is where we're going to run into some issues because, you know, fabric has to bend. So we're probably going to have to do some relief cuts. Those can be a little scary because if you cut too far, now you've cut into your fabric. But you definitely have to, we're going to have to cut here. We're going to leave this for now. And when we do, we're going to start pulling this fabric up like this towards the corner. But we want to try to get this as tight as possible, but we're going to have to do some cuts there. So hopefully I don't mess it up. And if I do, then we'll just end the live and be like, ah, there we go. We had a demonstration. Okay. Let's see if we can get this part. Again, we're pulling tight. There are some staples here that we still need to pull out. And this part can take a long time. When you go around and start pulling out all the old staples and stuff, that can kind of be a pain. That's where it takes a lot of time. But, you know, honestly, when you're working on a project that you're just doing for leisure, you know, don't feel like you have to get it all done in one day. You don't really have to. I felt, you know, the pressure of getting this done because we did have a deadline, right? That office makeover needed to get done. So, you know, for me, I was like, oh, we got to get this done. But if you're working on something and you're just having fun, working on your craft, then take your time. Don't feel rushed. All right, I'm going to put a staple down here. Keep your fingers out the way. And I will tell you, one of the things I like about the Arrow staplers is that it has this built-in safety. So if you're using other brands of furniture staplers, when you pull that trigger, those staples just come flying out, and it can go into your eye, it can go into your, you probably should be wearing, this is a little easier, a little safer, because you have that safety feature right here built in, where it has to be pressing against the fabric before anything's going to be. So if you have kids, if you have, little people that like to come behind you and they, they're like, oh, what's mommy or daddy doing? And they pick this up and they start pulling the trigger. Like, look at this, nothing's happening. But the minute I put this and press against it, that safety trigger is going to allow me to shoot a staple. Whereas other staplers, the minute you even push that trigger, that staple is going to shoot and you could hurt yourself. We don't want to do that. All right, so we're going to pull this tight. We got to get around all of this epoxy or whatever this stuff is, but we're going to pull this tight. Again, making sure that we've got a nice, clean line here. And I'm going to be I'm actually pulling this way because I don't want to pull down. If I pull down, that doesn't give me much to work with here. So I'm going to kind of pull towards the side and then I'm going to staple. Get it in there. And again, it's hard to get these staples. It is hard to get the staples through this epoxy or glue or whatever it is that they are using here. All right, there we go. There we go. Keep stapling. Pull it tight. Awesome. We're making progress, guys. I love it. All right, now this. Oh, here's a great example of a staple that got cut off. I'm going to show you this. This is why you need the needle nose pliers. Let me show you what this looks like. Let me get a close up here. All right, so sometimes when you are doing upholstery, you will have some staples that break off like this. And you may not see it, so be careful. You don't want to poke yourself. But when you have the needle nose pliers, it just helps you to grab this and pull it out of the wood. Okay, so keep that in mind whenever you're upholstering. Make sure you have needle nose with you. All right. So we're going to have to make some adjustments here because we have this foam that's kind of getting in the way. So, and we want to kind of tuck that underneath. So let's make a little bit of a cut. Hopefully I do not cut the wrong thing. All right. No. All right. And this may not be a big deal here because when we put this chair seat on, you're not going to see this part. You're not going to see this part. This is going to be covered up by the fabric anyway. But we just want to be able to get that overlap there. All right, let's take a look at this. This looks amazing. Okay, now this is going to be the challenging part because now we have to figure out how to get this fabric over here and get this nice and clean. This is the part I'm probably going to struggle with. Yay! Yay! All right, so I'm going to make a few relief cuts. I'm going to use my little scissors here, and I'm not going to be cutting much. What's that? Oh, I thought he was talking to me. So we're going to try to fit this around. Now, oh, let me show you something. This fabric, hold on. I'm going to show you guys something here, just so you know what we're doing. We've got two pieces of fabric here that are the arms, right? So this is the piece, this is the interior piece that's going to go right here. And then this piece is going to go right here. The only thing is, you know what? We need a sewing machine. I just thought about something. We need a sewing machine.
Here?
Because this has, so there's some piping. The piping is here. Oh, bye, Mike. We will be in touch. We will be in touch, Mike. I promise. I promise. All right. So let me explain what how we may not be able to finish this chair, because this is the side piece and it has some piping. This piping is generally about a 2-inch thick piece of fabric, and you've got a cord in the middle. So the way that this, and I probably should have sewn this before I came. I totally forgot to. This cording is gonna be attached like this. I could always stop the video and come back. I can hand sew this. I have thread. I can hand sew this. So this is going to be attached, and then it's going to cover up that raw edge of this chair, just like that. And what I should have done before I came was I should have sewn this to this, because this is all one piece. So we can hand stitch, we'll have to hand stitch that. But for now, we are going to try to make this actually fit around the chair. And that's the hard part. Whenever you're doing upholstery projects, it takes time to figure out how to get that fabric. It takes time to figure out how to get that fabric around the curves. And so, you know, as I was working on this in my she shed, and you'll see it in the video, there were times when I was like, how am I going to get this fabric around this edge? So I'm going to make some relief cuts here in my fabric. And some of this can go underneath, and we can probably staple that. But we know that we don't want to work here. We actually want to work here. So let's actually make some relief cuts. So relief cuts are literally just little slices in your fabric so that you can move the fabric, you can bend it around edges. You don't want to go crazy willy-nilly with your relief cuts, because if you do, guess what? You're going to cut through your fabric, which is what I'm trying not to do. All right, so we're just going to, because otherwise your fabric isn't going to move the way you want it to. So you see now that I've got some relief cuts, I'm able to, you know, if I staple that in place, I'm getting a little bit closer to being able to maneuver that fabric so that it can be stapled to this chair. And then we're going to be pulling up, and you see as I'm pulling up, those wrinkles will go away and we'll leave the corners last. But this is the hard part. All right. And since we have that other fabric that's going to be covering this, it's not really a big deal. I feel like oh gosh, I have some staples here that are like poking me. How did I miss those? Those things, woo. Bye-bye staples. And you know, the more you upholster, the faster you get, the more you can look at it and know whether or not it's going to be a quick project or whether it's going to be a long project. Let's see, how do we want to maneuver this fabric? I'm going to make another little slit here. I don't want to slit it too much, because if I do that, it could start to tear. But I just want to be able to get it around this arm. And this, I can staple that inside. But this is giving me a way to get a little tighter. Because what I'm going to do is start stapling this in place. And I'm pulling. Okay. Oh, okay. What time is it right now? 3:25. Okay. All right. All right. So here I'm pulling. And we may have to make some adjustments because we do still have a little bit of wrinkles right here, but you know, doesn't have to be perfect, guys. But this is the spot that this is my corner that I want to secure. And then we can try to get that wrinkle out. But let's go ahead and secure that. That's about as tight as we're going to get here. Turn this around so you can see. I'm really wishing that I was here for 2 days at this hardware show because oh my gosh, there are so many brands here. There's so many. It's like Chuck E. Cheese for adults. They have so many cool like brands here. Of course, Arrow is here. Arrow is awesome. I've been working with Arrow probably for 10 years. If you've been following me, I've been doing a lot of projects with Arrow over the years. Ooh, and that's actually coming out. All right, so we're gonna have to secure this a little bit more right here. And this is why I say cut your fabric a little big, because if I had more to grab onto, I need to kind of leverage this. There we go. There we go. Let's see. I'm gonna hold this. Am I out of staples? Why is it like the staple that you really need? Then you're out of staples. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. We're gonna pull. Hey, have you guys gone to enter the overhaul the overhaul giveaway? So I'm giving away $1,000 with Arrow right now. And I'm gonna need you to enter that. And by entering, you are now in the running to win $1,000. I mean, right now, who couldn't use $1,000, right? So we're giving away a $500, either a Visa or American Express gift card. And then the other $500 is to Arrow Tool Group. So all these tools that I'm using, if you want to get, this is literally $65. I think they have it on sale right now for like $58. I mean, you can do DIY so many different projects with this. So enter the giveaway. Go to thriftiving.com/fall overhaul, or you can go to my Instagram, go to my link in bio. The link is there. All you have to do is enter your name, enter your email, and then click to join the Arrow email list. And what that's going to do is it's going to shoot you an email out from me. And then you're going to hear from me probably in the next day or so, because I want you to sign up for my 30-day fall overhaul challenge. Guys, ever since 2014, I have been doing, I think we can get rid of this now. I've been doing challenges, right? 2014, we did our first challenge at thrift diving. All right, before I tell you that story, I want to point something out to you. You see how I have these wrinkles here? I secured the fabric here. Now I can start working towards the corner. So I'm going to start pulling up. And as I'm pulling up, I'm going to check my fabric. That looks pretty good, right? The wrinkle is gone. So I'm going to check my fabric. I'm going to have to probably use my arm to anchor here. I'm going to pull up. So yeah, you got to do some gymnastics here when you're reupholstering. And I'm going to pull up and just keep pulling up. Smoothing it out. This is looking good. Oh my gosh, this is looking good. Check it on this side. This looks good. Pull up. But yeah, we've been doing challenges at thrift diving since 2014. And these challenges are awesome because, you know, how many times have you said, I really want to do a project. I want to do my home office. I want to do my laundry room. I want to reupholster a chair. But you're either scared, you're too busy, because you're scared that you're going to mess it up or you don't know how to do it. And you just keep putting it off and you just never get it done. Like you want to do your basement. You want to put up drywall in your basement. Whatever that thing is that you want to do, that's what the room challenges have been able to help us do. And I remember I was driving along to work. This is when I worked outside of the home. And I was thinking, I was like, man, I really want to make over a room in my house. I feel like I'm not getting anything done and I'm not feeling good about where I am in my house. And so I said, you know what, guys, let's do a room makeover challenge. And we did. We had, I don't even know how many people signed up, but we had people sign up. And then we just made over a room, and we did it together. It took 30 days, and we called it the June Room Challenge. And it was amazing. It was amazing. I worked on my laundry room. I did tile flooring. I'd never done tile flooring before. I felt like a badass. I was like, I did flooring in my laundry room. And so I want you to join my challenge this time. We are doing the fall overhaul, and I want you to pick one space, one room in your house. It doesn't even have to be a room. It can be, you know, like a garden project. Now that the weather is maybe getting a little cooler, it can be a project like that. And I want you to tackle that. I want you to tackle that challenge with us in the challenge. And we're going to be starting September 1st. So you have a little bit of time. You will be getting an email from me inviting you to participate. But today what I want you to do is I want you to go to thriftdiving.com, or you can go to my bio and on Instagram at thriftdiving, and you'll see the link there. I want you to enter your name, your email, and you click sign up for, or, you know, join the Arrow mailing list. That's how you're going to get my email. And I want you to sign up because we're giving away money. And who doesn't want free money? You know what I mean? All right, so this is looking good. All right, so this is how I did the back corner. That looks good. I'm going to secure that. Before you secure it, you always want to check the front. This looks good because we're going to have piping on the back. And I'm not going to be able to finish this. Like, my plane leaves soon. But on the video, the home office makeover video, everything that you see me doing here, I did in the video with this exact chair. This is the twin of the chair. So we're going to smooth this out and add some staples here. And this is going to be covered up with the back of the fabric. All right, we're going to secure that. Good Lord. Whoa, excuse me. All right, so that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. And then we're going to try to do the other side. All right. Now, remember this piece, and again, we're not going to finish this today. This is the arm piece. This is the interior piece. And it's supposed to have a piece of piping. Where'd I put the piping? I'll walk you through what I'm going to do for this chair, or what I did for this chair, since I'm not going to have time to finish it. So this is the cording. This cording is the long piece that goes over the back, and these are the two side pieces. So how this is supposed to be is that this piece of cording gets sewn to this arm, this interior arm, right? I don't know. I tried to do as much as I could at home because I was like, I'm not going to have a sewing machine there. So if I fold this under, this piece is going to be stapled in place here. And let me tell you how that would actually be done. Remember, whenever we're doing upholstery, we always want to kind of start in the center. Well, we don't really have a center. We're not starting here for this piece. We would actually secure this here, and then we would pull this down and secure this here at the bottom, right? So that this is nice and tight. And then we would start pulling this, smoothing it, stapling this, and we would do the other side. So that would be the next step, which we're not going to do for this video. You can find it on my channel. So that's what I would do for that, for the interior. This longer piece of cording is going to go around the back of the chair. Cording is great because it really gives chairs a defined, like a really defined look. It just looks, you know, tailored. And it also does something amazing. It actually covers up, it helps you cover up the back, and I'll show you. So remember how I told you to find the center? We would find the center in this cording, right? So I'm going to line this up here, the two edges line this up. I'm going to find the center of this cording. We can snip it if we want to, just so we know, right? We cut a V. In sewing, you always want to kind of cut a V. You can kind of see that V. We know where the center of this chair is, right? So what we would do is put this cording right here at the center, and we would start stapling this in place. And we can actually do that. I think it goes here. The original chair had it maybe about right here. So let's go ahead and actually staple this in place so you can see. When you're stapling cording in place, you want to try to get as close as possible to this sewn line. And the reason why is because when this cording is in place, if your staple is way down here, this cording is going to be floppy. And that's not what you want. You want a nice, clean cording that looks like a finished edge. Again, making sure that this is straight, right? I am going to pull this towards the corner. And I'm going to get as close to this edge as possible without going into the cording. And try to be consistent. Let's see, does that look good? Okay, I'm going to switch over here, do this side. Make sure that this is kind of even with the other side. Actually, that probably, and if you find that you're not close enough, like this is not close enough, then all you have to do is go back and just get a little bit closer. Put that edge of the stapler right in there without going into the cording, because I did make that mistake on the other chair. And so I'll show you what we do here at the corner since we did this corner. So as we're stapling, we're going to start bending this cording so that it covers up this edge, right? And that's what we want. We need to cover up that corner and we can work our way around. And then this cording is going to go all along this chair. Now remember, we would essentially have this piece in place, but we don't have enough time to do that. And the cording would go all the way along here, all the way to the bottom. Okay? And that would be the next step. And then the next step would be taking this curve ease. It's also called ply grip. So this ply grip, you would do the same thing, right? Now, I'll tell you, this ply grip is so sharp. When I was working on this in my she shed, I was literally cutting my fingers because it's very sharp. I'm not going to do it here at the demonstration, but what I would do is find the center of the curve ease, and I would place the curve ease in this way. Let's see, just like this, with this part that has the, I don't know if you can see that, there's a part that has a little hole there. That's what you're going to be stapling through. So this curve ease would go right underneath of this cording, just like that, along the entire back. That would be the next step. And then the final step would be putting the back on and getting the fabric tucked in there. Now you can see all this on my channel because we don't have time. I got to go catch my flight. But again, here's what I want you to do. I want you to join. First of all, I want you to enter the giveaway, right? Even if you don't want to do the challenge, I want you to join the giveaway. The giveaway, like I said, is $1,000 for one grand prize. And then there's going to be 25 additional $100 winners. Everybody loves tools. Everybody needs an opportunity to buy tools and not have to pay for them out of your own pocket. So what I want you to do is go to thriftdiving.com. You can go to my Instagram at thriftdiving. You can go to my home office makeover, which is posted, and look in the description. There is a link there where you can go directly to the page to enter the giveaway. And while you're there, you'll see that there's a little option to follow or to sign up for Arrow's mailing list. I need you to click that, and then that will allow me to send an email automatically to you. In the next few days, you'll be getting an email from me saying, hey, do you want to do the challenge? And I want you to pick a project. I want you to find something that you've been wanting to complete, something you've been wanting to do, and I want you to do the challenge with me. Okay, I just did the home office makeover, but I'm seriously considering doing my garage for this challenge. We start September 1st, and we will end September 30th. And then the winner is going to be picked, I believe the winner is going to be picked on or about October 15th, live from New Jersey. From the Arrow Saddlebrook headquarters. So please join the giveaway, sign up for the challenge because I would love to have you. Watch the video, and guys, I will see you next time. Thank you for spending this time with me because I enjoyed myself, but now I got to go catch my flight. All right, guys, I will see you next video. Thank you so much for watching. I should probably turn this around so you can see me. Hey, here I am. There, I should have said all that with my face here so I could actually see you. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate you being here and watching. This has been an amazing experience, and I hope that there's something that you learned just from the little bit of demonstration that we were able to do with getting started with your own upholstery projects. But if there's other projects that you want to do, I will help you. I'll give you some ideas. If you get stuck in one of your projects, send me an email, serena@thriftdiving.com, and I respond to all my emails, and I will help you figure out the next step of your project. But I hope that you do the challenge with me, because everybody needs a little bit of inspiration, right? Everybody needs inspiration. And that is one thing that I'm passionate about, creating, inspiring, and teaching. And I'm so thankful that you are along for the journey. All right, guys, I will see you next video. Bye.